Disclaimer. This video tutorial is for training and information purposes only. The techniques and recommendations presented in this video are based on general best practices and experience. Please note that individual circumstances, such as specific company policies or industry-specific requirements, cannot be addressed in detail. The information contained in the video is not a guarantee of success in the subject matter and does not replace the need for individual preparation and practice. The content reflects the opinions and experience of the creator and makes no claim to completeness or accuracy in all situations. The creator accepts no liability for any direct or indirect loss, damage or inconvenience that may arise from the application of the content presented in the video. For detailed advice or special requests, please contact us at contact@experts4excellence.com. All content shown in this video is protected by copyright. Any reproduction or distribution is only permitted with our written authorization. Welcome to Part 4 of the course Basics of Lean Management. It contains short breaks for your reflection and relaxation. Now, have fun with the basics of lean management. Let's finish the course with our last chapter, the continuous improvement processes. Here we will learn how to initiate and run improvement projects. Let's start with Kaizen. I am sure you have heard the term Kaizen before. It comes from Japanese and means the following. Kai is the change or transformation. Zen is the good. So, translated you could say, Kaizen means the change towards the better, and that is nothing else than continuous improvement. Kaizen is a structured approach for continuous improvement. A Kaizen project is carried out in 4 phases. It starts with brainstorming on an identified problem. This involves trying to identify as many causes for the problem as possible. After that, all possible causes found are summarized and grouped in a so-called fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram. Grouping them according to 6 M's, man, machine, material, milieu or environment, management, method, is the usual proceeding. Now the possible cause groups are ranked either by frequency or, if you already have data, by severity. This is best represented in a Pareto chart. After that, the actual improvement work is started in the form of a PDCA cycle. We will now describe in detail all 4 steps of a Kaizen project. Brainstorming. Brainstorming is one of the oldest and best-known methods for gathering ideas and coming up with a rough flowchart. Definition. Brainstorming is a method that supports the work of a group in finding new ideas for a topic creatively and free from criticism and evaluation. Approach. Formulation of the topic. Selection of participants. Determination of a moderator. Visible presentation of the topic as a sentence. Collecting the ideas, at first each participant for himself or herself. Expression of the ideas by the participants. Write each idea on a metaplan card. Collecting the ideas by the moderator. Addition of further ideas. Structuring of the collected ideas in groups. Formulation of headings or key statements for the groups. Rules. Find as many ideas as possible. Questions of understanding are allowed, criticism is forbidden. Free and spontaneous getting crazy is allowed. Ideas of others can be taken up and continued. 1 card per idea. Brainstorming exercise. Brainstorming needs practicing. Try this with your peers after having finished this course. Proceedings. Choose 3 to 5 colleagues for the exercise and get together in a room. Equip all team members with a flipchart pencil and a stack of metaplan cards. Set out a brainstorming question. Remark. For training purposes, use easy and general brainstorming questions. For example, what can be done with a metal paper clip? Explain the rules. Encourage your participants to be creative and think out of the box. Start a 10-minute silent brainstorming session. No communication during these 10 minutes. After the silent session, collect the cards with ideas. Read the cards loud. If necessary, clarify them and pin it on the wall. Add further ideas if possible and necessary. Structure the collected ideas in groups. Formulate headings or key statements for the groups. Now you have a bunch of potential reasons for your stated problem. With that, you can go now into the next step of your Kaizen project, which is the fishbone or Ishikawa diagram. The fishbone diagram, also known as cause and effect diagram or Ishikawa diagram, is an easy but effective way to structure the findings from your brainstorming session. First, write the problem description at the head of the fishbone diagram. Then write all the found possible reasons for the problem grouped into the 6 main categories. It has proven useful to group the possible reasons found for the problem into the 6M categories, which are man, machine, material, milieu or environment, management, method or process. The Ishikawa diagram is the most popular form of representation for cause and effect relationships, since the relationships are clearly represented. Definition: the Ishikawa or fishbone diagram helps to identify and present cause-effect relationships in a structured way when analyzing problems. It is a tool for visualizing the problem-solving process. Approach: and, as exact as possible, definition of the problem is to be considered. Selection of the relevant main influencing variables. Determination of possible causes for the main influencing variables with the help of brainstorming. Representation of the connection of the causes with the effect. For each single cause, constantly questioning why? To identify secondary causes. Assessment and weighting of the individual causes. Notes: it is crucial to identify all causes as far as possible. The respective assignment to the main influencing variables is not the essential thing here. 5 Why? Often the root cause of a problem is not immediately apparent. To find out this root cause, the 5 Why method is very helpful. Definition: the 5 Why question technique or root cause analysis is a simple problem-solving technique to quickly get to the root cause of a problem. Approach: description of the problem as accurate as possible. At each level, the question, why, is asked. The answer to the first, why, question leads to the next one. Notes: continue questions until the end. Avoid assumptions. Check by reversing the questions. It is important to consistently try to capture the real reasons. In the example of a stopped machine in production, the root cause is only apparent after repeated drilling. Example: typically, after 5 times asking, why, the root cause is found. Why did the machine stop? Because the fuse blew due to an overload. Why was there an overload? Because the bearing lubrication was insufficient. Why was the lubrication insufficient? Because the lubrication pump was not working. Why did the lubrication pump not work? Because the pump shaft was worn. Why was the pump shaft worn? Because mud got into the system. Now we can move to the next step in our Kaizen journey, which is the Pareto analysis. The Pareto analysis is a simple mathematical or statistical method to sort, structure, and prioritize causes of a problem. Definition: the Pareto analysis structures the errors of a problem or subproblems of an overall problem, according to their frequency. The Pareto analysis provides a statement about which errors or subproblems should be processed first. One of the characteristics of the Pareto analysis is the so-called 80-20 rule. It states that in most cases 80% of the problems are caused by 20% of the reasons. Approach: collection of the errors of a problem. Order of the errors, for example by frequency or by costs caused. Plotting of the errors in descending order from left to right in a bar chart. Plotting of the cumulative curve, meaning the cumulated shares of the errors. Notes: in addition to the pure visualization of problems and errors, the Pareto chart is also suitable for visualizing the results of an ABC analysis or an XYZ analysis. Example: in the example of a customer complaint shown here, it is apparent that 20% of the reasons for complaints account for approximately 80% of all complaints. The graph shows that 2 categories of errors, 2 out of 10 equals 20%, cause almost 80% of customer complaints. The data collection that serves as the basis for such a chart is typically done by error summary list, measurement results, IT systems, KPIs, etc. Now that we know and have quantified the reasons for our problem, we can set about fixing them. This is what the PDCA methodology is for. The Plan Do Check Act cycle is a model for implementing change. It is an integral part of the lean manufacturing philosophy and an important prerequisite for the continuous improvement of people and processes. Plan. Identify potential for improvement. Analysis of the current state. Developing a new concept. Definition of target value. Do. Trying out or testing and practical optimization of the concept with quickly practicable, simple means. Collecting data. Check. Evaluation and assessment of the collected data. Act. If successful, decide on implementation of the process flow in the entire company. Standardization. Check for compliance. If plan goals are not achieved, run through PDCA cycle again. The PDCA cycle is the core of the continuous improvement philosophy. First, you define your improvement goals and the appropriate actions. Then you implement the actions and run the new process for a while. Once you have collected significant data about the new process, you check the results. If the changes show improvement, you standardize it by making it a habit or by applying new working procedures. The red Kyle symbolically represents the standardization. It prevents the improvement ball from rolling backwards. Now set new goals and start the cycle again. By continuously performing the PDCA cycle, you constantly improve the quality of your process over time. PDCA is the consistent process orientation. The recognition of value creation and elimination of waste, Japanese term muda, so that there is no performance compression. The participation of employees and employee representatives. Securing the improvement of results through standards. With that, we have successfully completed the 4th chapter in this module. Please take a moment and think about what your 3 key learnings were in this chapter. Write them down. Ask yourself if you can use these lessons learned in your daily work. And if so, how? Congratulations! You have now successfully completed the Basics of Lean Management course. Well done! For more information on our services, please go to https://xprts4xlnc.com or contact us at contact@xprts4xlnc.com.